secondary list or an item in a store. When you list it, you did not paginate it in the early stage, maybe because you are not anticipating to have many products on your store or on your product. One performance thing you can do is maybe paginate it. And perhaps, for example, in Flutter, there is something called stateful widgets, and you have stateful widgets, and it renders the whole page when you do an event. You can improve performance by maybe using a state management. We will talk a bit about it and show you a bit how state management works and what state management is. Then we'll talk about code coverage. So code coverage is not, test coverage, sorry, is not the end goal for having a quality software when you write test. But however, it's a good metrics to measure the standard quality of your code. So for example, when you have your code and you have your feature, you're supposed to have minimum of 70%, or even you could pass 50%, but depending on what you're trying to do, because some codes are really difficult to test, but it's better you have tests than nothing. So you can have 70% coverage. It shows that you are committed to delivering high quality software. So, and we have different types of tests, which we will glance through when we are talking, in the future, or if we have time in this particular presentation in Flutter. There are so many, three main types of tests, like the unit test, we have widget test, we have integration test, which is usually done when you're doing your CI/CD. So the integration test works as if like somebody is really using the device, it clicks and performs a unit of work, like not a class, but like adding something to the cart from the beginning to end. And then you would have something for like a integration test for checking out. So those are kind of tests you can add to your code base and make it industry standard. Then one more important thing is code review. We haven't finished planning the previous. In fact, I haven't discussed it much with the rest of the people, but I was hoping if we could build maybe an open source software that would be useful to the community. I actually have an idea, and we would use Flutter and some backend solution, and we would have code reviews when you do your pull request, and it's also another way to achieve industry standard. Then CI/CD, which is continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment, whatever you call it, there is an argument over it, is when once you finish with a block of code or a PR for CI, it does all the checks, all the tests, it runs all the tests, and it merges it to maybe your staging, and you can have people test it, and when they are satisfied, it gets merged for deployment to Play Store. And I'm hoping we'll have a lot of questions around this continuous integration and delivery, especially for what happens when you have an app running and then you have a bug, or what happens when you have an app running and you want to create something and test it for certain feature, for certain user. I don't know if you've noticed in the past, like Facebook, for example, they have they usually would have some features they would roll out to some people, or Netflix, for example, roll out to some people from in some demographics, target some demograph or some location, and you use it. If the people are happy with it, they roll it out. So we will talk about something like that. How do you achieve stuff like that? And if there is a critical bug, how do you fix it quickly and deploy it to your users, and so on. So yeah. So next, we talk about UI UX. So I won't be able to say much about this because this is a collaboration between the UI UX team. In an industry standard app, you don't be a single developer and try to build everything yourself, except of course, if you have a broad knowledge on UI UX, backend development and mobile development. I've seen people like that, and it is possible, but of course you're going to spread yourself thin, and it will take you a long time to try and deliver high quality. But yeah, why I put it here was because Flutter as a framework makes it easy for you to achieve high quality users.